Good morning. My name is Kay, and this is Thought for the Day for Friday, October the 22nd. Today's reading comes from John chapter 16, verses 16 to 22. Chapters 13 to 17 in John's Gospel contain Jesus' final instructions to his disciples, and this passage forms a crucial part of Jesus' comprehensive final teaching before he was betrayed. The disciples' grief will turn to joy. Jesus went on to say, "In a little while you will see me no more, and then after a little while you will see me." At this, some of his disciples said one to another, "What does he mean by saying, 'In a little while you will see me no more, and then after a little while you will see me'? And because I'm going to my Father?" They kept asking, "What does he mean by a little while? We don't understand what he is saying." Jesus saw that they wanted to ask him about this, so he said to them, "Are you asking one another what I meant when I said, 'In a little while you will see me no more, and then after a little while you will see me'? Very truly, I tell you, you will weep and mourn while the world rejoices. You will grieve, but your grief will turn to joy. A woman giving birth to a child has pain because her time has come. But when her baby is born, she forgets the anguish because of her joy that a child is born into the world. So with you. Now is your time of grief, but I will see you again, and you will rejoice, and no one will take away your joy." This is not the first time that Jesus had told his disciples and followers that he would die and rise again from the dead. In fact, he had explained to them many times that this would be the inevitable outcome of his life on earth, but some of them still didn't understand. Would we? I suspect that we would have found the concept as alien as they did, especially so after his triumphal entry into Jerusalem when the massed crowds proclaimed him the Messiah. We would have been riding on the crest of a triumphal wave, not understanding or temporarily forgetting Jesus' real purposes on earth. So here, the disciples didn't understand that the arrest of Jesus was only an hour or two away. They were thoroughly troubled and confused. They didn't understand what he meant about not seeing him and then seeing him. They probably thought that Jesus spoke with unnecessary mystery about where he was going. And despite Jesus' previous explanations, some of them didn't understand that they would see him again when he rose from the dead. As they kept on questioning, I imagine there was lively discussion going on amongst them as to what Jesus really meant. Two different words are used for see in this passage, emphasizing the fact that in the short interval between Jesus' death and resurrection, the disciples lost not only Jesus' physical presence, but also their spiritual vision. However, after Jesus' resurrection, they saw his physical presence again with their bodily eyes. We don't have that special privilege today, but we can still keep our spiritual vision clear and sharp. So what can we take away from this passage today? First, although we do have the excuse that we cannot actually see Jesus as the disciples could, we can be just as blind. How often have we only understood a Bible passage or seen God's guidance in retrospect and been blind to it at the time? So as we go through today, let's try to see Jesus in the everyday and not miss out on anything that he wants to show us. Second, joy. The joy that no one can take away. Jesus does not say that the disciples' sorrow will be replaced by joy. He says it will be turned to joy. Their excruciating agony at losing him would be turned into an inexpressible joy when he returned, just as it does when a mother gives birth to her child. Even in our darkest moments, we have a God who, through his power and grace, can bring triumph out of defeat and joy out of sorrow. And we know that whatever lies ahead, we have the promise of salvation and eternal life with our Father. May you have a truly joy-filled day.